Kuna story moja ile according to mimi so far I'm treating it as fake news but it might be real because this is Kenya. Musamaga Kenya, nothing can surprise you. But there was this story that was going around that a certain governor had been stopped na 679 million at the point of entry, I think ya Brito. Alafu with time wase wakaanza kusema ni Wavinya ndeti. But Wavinya yo enjoy sana. Siende andwele sipite. So even so far hizo zote ni allegations and I'm treating it as fake news, but still there is a probability that this can happen or this has happened before when it comes to Kenyan governors. But history ya corruption where someone can take 679 million and decide to move with this money to a different country, yes? Because this is something that happens. Kulikuwa na ile case ya Migori where kunasemekana there was 100 million that was moved into someone's account. Migori saizi I think inasemekana has over 200 bank accounts.
What?
Check your story.
No, I'm not in
that. No. Kulikuwa na story like even the auditor general this lady, I don't know can't remember her name, but usually alikuwa anasema like according to her counties should not have this number of bank accounts. Like there's so many that even accounting for money becomes harder and harder.
If there's a job I find very hard near kwa auditor general. I don't think I would ever want it or want someone I care about to. Hiyo kazi ni ngumu, bro.
Ni ngumu.
You have no power to sanction people. You have no power to tell them stop, but you can just see the bro, that work is hard. But it's meaningful. Hopefully it's an institution that will be supported with time.
So ilikuwa nini? Ilikuwa Senator Eddie Okech to Auditor General Nancy Gathungo. Migori County has 200 bank accounts. Yes. Alafu Dr. Ochilo yako akabaki amesema the law does not provide for a limit to the number of accounts provided the monies are utilized efficiently. But I feel like that's too much.
Yeah, definitely having 200 bank accounts to achieve what? To achieve what?
Yes. But now to go back to history, the allegations against Wavinya, do you think like by right now she needs to have released a statement and said if this is fake news, this is fake, so that it's not, because you have the way news spreads, this has spread so much that I don't know even if it's real. I don't know where she is, if she's in the country or she's outside.
That's in the law we believe in the presumption of innocence. Yes. So I would what I know is that I think governors need to hold themselves before anyone else. Governors need to hold themselves to a higher standard.
Yes.
She is not the first governor ever in her county, so she definitely knows there are certain things that if you find yourself in a certain kind of mess, you really need to rethink your political strategy and philosophy, and whether or not you did get into power to serve. I know there's a similar story of the former cabinet secretary for treasury, huyu mwenye alienda na the last administration.
Yatani.
Yatani.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember, there was a story that they also allegedly, his son was caught in
Akash.
In Akash here in JKIA, and it brought a lot of problems. I think
they even went to his house pia wakapata a lot of cash. Allegations.
Allegations. I just know that there's a certain conversation that the country is having about higher forms of accountability that people in power really need to ask themselves very hard questions. And
so this was 2 years ago. Kulikuwa na hii ati detained at JKIA with $4 million. So he was headed to headed to Dubai. So this was tweeted by who? Let me see. Apparently ilikuwa kwa page ya nani?
Excuse me.
Okay, sijui ilikuwa kwa nini ya nani, but yes, kulikuwa na hiyo allegations, but then afterwards ilikuwa, I think there was a corruption case against him. So that ilikuwa inasemekana in 2021 alikuwa anini, but yeye mwenyewe he came out and said his son had not been arrested. But then there was a case against Yatani mwenyewe after he left office. So I don't know how that went, but I remember like when this administration will come in, walikam wakanini. But sasa ikikam to corruption kwa hii country, at some point, do you feel like we've given up the fight? Because yes, Kuriatan ilikuwa 1.2 billion corruption case. Yes, EACC. This was on May 1st, 2024. This year, I think they're still pursuing him.
It's I think he has an ongoing case. There's a funny thing. I was talking to another advocate some time ago, and we were just the some of our conversation was in light of what's going on. We were just saying how our country has reached the carrying capacity of incompetence. It cannot carry anymore. You can't feign your ability to do certain things.
Yes.
Otherwise, it just starts to show. You can't start saying, "Oh, I didn't know you can't carry that much." I mean, come on. It's a mess. It's something we need to.
Because a lot of things ilinangalia as a county, you have to have your head of communications. Yes. If a rumor starts that something has happened, if the allegations are not true, I feel like you should nip it in the bud.
Definitely.
Saizi nikigo through hapa, I'm just seeing everyone tweeting about it. Even kaneza quote Dr. Kingori alikuwa ameandika kama hiyo story ya Wavinyandeti being stranded abroad with 679 million ukweli, then our situation is worse than we think. The salary of the president without any deductions does not total 100 million in 5 years. If we to break that down, 20 million to divide by 12 comes around 1.6. Yes, the president gets around 1.6, which is 1.92. Inamaanisha bado haifiki 100 million. And this is in 2 years. And this should just be like, I don't know. Then kuna mtu alikuwa ameandika that if Wavinyandeti should land at JKI and head straight to jail. So you see all this time, shida yangu na hii story ni counties have head of communications. Why hasn't someone come out to say this is a bullshit story? Because it might be a bullshit story. Kenya
it really could be.
Yes. But the more they let it go, the more we don't see her. Because even for me, if I was her today, like on Sunday, show up at a church. Watu wakuone. You don't even need to talk. Like just make yourself be seen.
One thing I've come to realize is when top political figures travel, I tend to think that they are weakest. You can really hit them quite hard. It tends to be very difficult for them to respond to certain stories. That's not to defend Wavinya. I don't know her. I don't know any of her people. But she at some point in time she will have to release a statement.
Yes.
Was the PR and communications handled well? I'm not a PR person, but just as a layman's view in that perspective, I don't think so. No, she could have done a bit better.
But vile tumesema hii story yote inaweza kuwa ni stories za jaba, because that's the interesting thing pia about the internet is a story just gets legs and it just goes and unapata ni story ile I make sense. But another interesting story really happened this year and ile ilifanya watu wakaanza kuharass Edwin Sifuna was the story about